Okay, I could have started that a bit better. I was muted. Hey guys, and welcome back to the Football Corner. Welcome back to another stream, another live stream, another preview. And today we have an amazing panel for you guys, an amazing panel. So let me, without further ado, let me first invite the first person onto the stream, which is my brother in red and white. He's fucking dynamite. And let's get him into the stream, man. Mo, how you doing, bro?
Yo, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you, bro. How you doing, man? You good?
Chilling, you know me, man. Chilling, same thing always. Mobile still, 1/3 of member of Raj Like Dimes.
Come on, man. Let's go. Now, let's it's only me and Mo today for the Arsenal section, so we're gonna have to be fighting our corner hard. Now, let me start by bringing on the Man City lot, yeah? Let's bring him on. Let's start off with with ladies first. So ladies first, let's bring on
Start
Ellie.
with Ellie, the only one that's got a Manchester accent.
The only one.
Ellie's the only one with a Mancunian accent. Let's start with Ellie.
Ellie, how you doing? You alright?
Yeah, I'm all good. I hope you're all right.
All right. Let's bring on your brothers in blue. So we'll start off with G certified. Let's bring you on, man. G certified, man. How you doing, broski? You good, man?
I'm ready to win this game tomorrow, man.
And then let's finish it off with Mr. Pablo Escobar. Yeah, supporting Man City. Yeah, let's get him in, man. Let's get him.
Yo, big up, man.
We
Big
say
up,
it,
Sad,
we say
man.
it, yeah?
Big up, man. Big up,
Jeez.
yeah, man.
You came
Loving
out
the show, man. Loving
you
the
come
show,
out
man.
in the original shirt, yeah?
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
Come
you have
on,
to
G.
show
You
them,
know,
yeah?
you
You have
know,
to show
like
them you
what,
good
man.
then.
You know how it is, man. Come on,
You know,
G. You know how it is.
you know what I respect about Pablo. This guy found the original shirt that fits him. This guy bought it like
there we are.
last month. Nah,
There
Pablo,
we
you're my
are.
guy. Pablo, you're my guy. You're my
There we
guy.
are.
Hey, Pablo,
Big
you know
up,
you're my
Mo.
guy. You know
Big up,
you're my
Mo,
guy,
man.
Pablo.
Right. Okay. So let's start off. Let's start off with the first news that broke this well that was announced this morning, which is Gvardiol. And I'm just gonna go by everyone just to see what your thoughts are on the signing. Let's start off with Eddie, and then we'll do the Man City lot first, and then obviously me and Mo will give our views on the signings. But Ellie, go ahead. What are your thoughts on the signing of Gvardiol?
Obviously, it's very exciting considering how young he is. I think this signing has made it evident that Laporte is most likely leaving this summer. With him, with his injury record and him not playing as much, I do think it was his time to leave, and Gvardiol coming in is a really, really good replacement for him. I can't say I watched much of him at Leipzig, but from what I heard, he's one of the best young talents out there, and I'm very, very excited to see how Pep is going to utilise him in the squad.
Good. And G certified, man. How you feeling about the signing?
Bro, I'm happy, man. I'm happy, man. You know, this guy is one of the best in his age bracket. You know, when we're talking about young centre backs, young defenders, this guy's one for the future. I said on yesterday's when I was on yesterday's stream. Yeah, I said, well, look at the age bracket. Who's better, really, apart from maybe Saliba, Konate? You know, them are the guys that you can compare him to in his age bracket. But there isn't too many. Around his age. And I know people might say, oh, yeah, there's not too many world-class young potential centre-backs. But, he's doing his business. So I'm happy with the signing. I think he'll be a leader. I think he's someone that's going to be aggressive. I think he's not going to – he might be 21, but I think he's going to be someone that's going to cause a lot of trouble. You know what I'm saying? Like, not in a good way. Not like in a bad way. But he's going to make a menace of attackers. And I like that. That he's got that side.
No, fair enough. And Pablo, what are your thoughts, man? What are your thoughts on it?
Yeah, it's a good signing, man. Like, you know, we bumped down the price as well because, you know, these guys were asking for like 90 M's up front plus add-ons. And, you know, we did good business there as well. And, you know, yeah, like G-Certified said, he's a young centre-back. You know, he's going to be compared to the likes of Saliba, Konate, and all these guys. And it's a very good addition. And obviously, with Laporte's situation, I don't know, man. I have a feeling Laporte might end up staying because, like, I think Pep said in the press conference yesterday, he was saying something about 6 centre-backs is enough. But maybe he's taking the piss. I don't know. Do you know what I mean? So, but it looks like Laporte will leave. But it's a good signing, man. You know, the guy's got experience in the World Cup as well. He had a good World Cup run. He started for the Croatians under 17s. He came up young. So we got a good player on our hands, man.
Nah, fair enough, man.
As I said,
Yeah, go on.
I said 6 centre backs is minor. I said it's minor, man. That's what Pep said.
It's minor.
Listen, if there's one man in this game, yeah, that can really make it work, it will be Pep. He'll manage to fit them all in and give them minutes. So I'm pretty sure we can you lot can be safe with that one. But Mo, what are your thoughts on their signing Vardy?
Bro, I'll get hate if I said it's not a great signing. Do you get what I'm saying? I'll be sounding outrageous if I say it's not a great signing. It's a dope signing to me with him and Ruben Diaz. Them men are set for a long time, like in my opinion. When you get a defender like this, regardless of the money, I said I'm Sky more. You know what? Let me never get distracted with that. All I'm saying, to me, I'll be hating. If I said it didn't work out, I'll sound like I'm a hater. I think they've got 2 centre backs for the next however many years. So I think it's a great signing, man. I can't lie to you. I'll be hating if I said otherwise.
Yeah. No, listen, I'm in agreement. Like, Vardy for me, I feel like he's a very good young centre back, showing for his country that he can do it. A bit iffy when it comes to when he conceded 7 goals against you guys, but that's just me being partly shameless. But I feel like for me, the real question I have is whether he's gonna get into the team straight away. I don't understand who he's gonna play instead of. Is he gonna play instead of Ruben Diaz, or are they gonna be playing 3 at the back now, or what are your thoughts on where he's gonna play for you guys coming into it?
Well, I'll go first. Fuck it.
Yeah.
Basically, I think what we'll do is, like my opinion anyway. I think obviously we play 3 at the back. We play 3 box 3, and the left hand side, which was Ake, or he's gonna take, or he might end up, switching up and putting Gvardiol in the inverted role because he's very good on the ball. He can pass. He's reliable on the ball as well, and that's what Pep likes. That's why John Stones in the inverted role out of all the other guys because he's the most suited. So I in my opinion, I think Gvardiol will take Ake's spot. I'll be so honest. Even though Ake had a very good season, I just think with this big signing, there must be a reason why we splashed 70 plus, and I feel like he'll end up playing there.
No, I think Pablo's right. But do you know what it is with Pep? Trying to figure out what Pep's going to do there's no point. Do you get what I'm saying? Like,
of course.
Trying to navigate where he's going to do, what he's going to play. Bro, no one saw John Stones do what he's going to do. No one saw Ake do what he's going to do. He's going to
exactly.
Like this guy, he's going to play week in, week out. Don't get it twisted. But trying to figure out where he's going to play, you just got to let Pep Guardiola rock that out and see what he does, man, in my opinion.
I think it's pretty obvious. I think that's going to be for Akanji. I think it's going to be for Akanji. I know Akanji had a great season last season, but I think Ake will play left back. I think right back John Stones will be there, and I think it'll be Diaz and Gvardiol as the centre backs. I just think that makes the most sense. I can't see Pep dropping Ake. I just can't see it, especially after I looked at the preseason game, even before he got injured. In his first game, he was looking amazing. He was looking like he didn't miss a beat. I know it's preseason, but he was looking great in preseason. So I think he's the one that might get back into the team. Maybe if Kyle Walker gets back into the team, then okay, then maybe I can see the Gvardiol left back thing happening. But
I need Kyle Walker to go by Munich ASAP, bro.
Hey, Roman, we don't need that, man. We need him.
I've been in agreement with you,
we need him, man. We need to keep him, man. Keep hold of this guy.
I need Kyle Walker to go Germany ASAP, bro. I can't lie to you, man.
Yeah, we need him to keep locking up Martinelli, man. That's all we need, man. We don't need him to go anywhere else.
Yeah. For me as well, yeah. I want to say, like, obviously, in that, I know you said that he can play in the midfield and that, yeah. But for me, I feel like John Stones is just too good. He's just too good in that position for Pep to even take him out. Because him and Rodri playing, like, listen, it works. It works in perfect harmony. So I just feel like you can't disrupt that. Even though Pep, knowing him, he is the manager that will do that because that's his style. Pep will always try and do that. He'll always try and always keep the team on their toes, add different players here and there. He's always testing new things, isn't it? And listen, he's a very good manager, so he's earned his right to do that because he's earned his right from previous stuff that he's tried out where it's worked and previous stuff that he's tried out that hasn't worked. So I personally feel like, in my opinion, that John Stones is just working in that position. I don't feel like he should be should be taken out for Vardy just yet. Maybe test him in some some games that are like a cup game, or you know what I mean, or something like that, or just like a throwaway Premier League game where you're playing a lower opponent. I'd suggest that, but for him to be taking that spot permanently, I genuinely don't think he's going to be like fully on that because of how good John Stones is, to be honest.
Yeah,
But,
no, I agree with that still. I agree with that. I can't lie. I don't think he's going to take John Stones' place. I think, like G-Surf, I said, probably a Kanji, possibly Ake. I don't know, man. You know Pep, innit? He can switch it up. He might
I
change
think
up the whole thing.
I
We
think
don't
it
know,
will be a Kanji, because when we first brought a Kanji, it was literally that last minute signing for depth due to Laporte's injuries. He was like 50 million. I don't think people expected, especially City fans, I think we were in a bit of a shock with how much game time he was actually getting and the level of performances he was putting out every single time he was playing. With the injuries we had to our centre backs, he really stepped up. But like I said, the other reason he was really getting game time was because of how many injuries we kept getting to our back line. So maybe he will just go back to a squad player rather than a starter as he was last season, because that is the initial reason we brought him for, which is it's not the best, seems though, how good he was last season, but that is the purpose we brought for him. Last minute signing due to Laporte being literally out for the 8-9 months. So I do agree with you, Certified. I think it's going to be a Kanji.
But what if like we end up playing Walker comes back in the lineup somehow, and you know he plays on the right back, and then it's John Stones and Diaz, and it could be Guardiola on the left. There's a lot of things Pep could do. Do you know what I mean? Because Guardiola has played left back a lot for Leipzig as well. So that's why I think, you know, I hear it. You know, with the Kanji, of course, you know, if a Kanji's there, he's gonna replace a Kanji 100%. He's better than a Kanji. But when it comes to if Walker ends up getting in again, which I think he might, I don't know. I think it might be Ake. It can be a Kanji, of course, but
I do
with
think
Ake,
Walker is staying
I don't
because
know.
him and Pep were out last night, was it?
Yeah, man, they were out.
They were
They were
out,
loving it.
just them two together having a drink, and probably maybe talking over his future potentially at City, or maybe they're just good friends having a night out.
I genuinely
Probably
think
just
that's
good friends,
confirmed,
innit?
you know
Probably
that.
just good friends.
We don't know.
I think that confirms it, that Walker is officially the old man of the squad. This man's going out for drinks with the boss. You know,
That's what I'm saying. That's what I think
like,
Walker will end up. He might end up starting next season. That's why, if he stays, I don't know, man. I don't know with Pep, bro. There's a millions of things you could do with our squad, man. I don't know. We
But
just
with
have to wait.
Walker, I don't think he comes in and starts either way, because if you cast your mind back to the start of the season, Pep did try and give him a chance at that inverted right back role, and he just
It
couldn't
didn't work.
do it. It didn't work. And with how well John Stones works, maybe, and his injuries, of course, Walker's become more injury prone. Maybe if he does stay, he will just be one of them players that comes in, gives us security every now and then. Different games, if we're up against teams with incredibly fast wingers, for example, he might play those games. But as a consistent start basis, I do think John Stones has completely robbed him of that role.
Yeah, 100%. Nah, John Stones has secured that inverted role, 1,000,000%. I agree with that.
I'm certainly agreeing with that.
Unless they're trying to do that thing from the centre back. That's the only other thing.
Someone's mic's fuzzing. Then I can't. Then G-Surf, I think it might be Mo. It's the wind or something. Yeah, G-Surf, I gone.
Now, I was going to say that unless John Stone steps up into the midfield from centre back and continues doing that role, and then Walker goes into a back three. But I don't know, man. Kyle Walker, he did get some games at the end of the season. So I don't know, maybe, because I don't think if we do say that he'll only play a few games, I don't think he'll stay. I think that after that Champions League final, especially him missing out on playing, especially after in the finals, in my opinion, the 2021 one, I thought he was our man of the match. I thought the one in Paul, I thought he was our best player that day. And then even in the Euros final, he was one of the best players there. So I feel like he's unlucky to miss out on what would have been his biggest game that he played. But he did get his minutes in the end. But
But did he get his minutes in the end because Ake was injured though? And we had
That's
to switch
what
up the
I was
squad.
gonna say. I think he got his minutes because Ake got injured. That's
Yeah.
literally what I think.
I do think I agree with that. I do think that's the reason why he did get minutes, because Ake was injured and we had to switch up the defense a bit more. I think that's why he wanted to leave. He knows he's not going to get as many minutes as he would. The rumoured club he was Bayern, as he would have at Bayern. So I don't know. We'll see.
Wait,
We'll see.
So you lot don't think that he's gonna get minutes at Bayern? Because I think he's walking straight.
No, he would. What? Sorry, I meant like the minutes he would get here wouldn't be near as to what he would get at Bayern.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Because I think him going to Bayern, obviously, if he goes to Bayern, but at the moment, like you lot said, like it looks like he's gonna stay, given that he's having dinner or drinks with the boss. He's still here. Obviously, the talks have gone quiet. From what I see, I haven't seen anything coming up on socials or anything like that to state that the deal's still on. But yeah, for me, I personally think, just go back to the Guardiola thing. I think he will take obviously a Kanji spot, but I think he can really give anybody a run in that defensive line. I feel
It's
like
it's an abundance of riches, bro. They've got an abundance of riches.
Yeah.
Like, they've got a dumb abundance of riches. I can't lie, they can play.
It's crazy.
There's loads
It's
of things.
crazy
There's loads of ways you can play. Loads of ways.
See, that's the thing with City. Like, no one's position is safe. So I think what Sad said is right. It's like Cavadio's coming in, and if he starts stepping up and performing, he is capable of benching pretty much anyone on the defense, probably apart from Ruben Diaz, because of how much they probably complement each other. But he is capable of doing it, and that's why I'm very, very excited to see how Pep goes forward with him.
No, but yeah, listen, that's enough about Guardiola. Yeah, first of all, guys, please make sure to hit the likes, make sure to subscribe to the channel, and yeah, listen, let's get into the juicy part of the stream, man. The juicy part, which is the game tomorrow at Wembley Stadium for the Community Shield. Listen, man, I'm excited. I don't know what I can say, man. I'm personally, I'm just, the more and more closer I get to the game, the more I always enjoy a day at Wembley, and I love going to Wembley because, for me, my history that I know from the time that I've been alive, we always turn up at Wembley, always. Like Arsenal, it's like that's like our second home because we always seem to turn up when we go to Wembley. On the odd occasion, we might not. Or we might have a bad game there, but most of the time, or majority of the time, we do turn up at Wembley. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it, man. I'm looking forward to seeing what we're gonna do against you guys. I feel like this is the first tough opponent that we're actually gonna come up against. Obviously, I know we went up against Barcelona and Man United, but there was a lot of experiments going on in those games in regards to our starting 11. I'm sure Mo would agree with me, but yeah, I'm so excited to see. I feel like Mikel Arteta is actually going to play his first official team, like his first serious team going into a competitive game, because he's going to take it serious. I don't think he's gonna sit here, piss about, and pick like a team full of like different players playing in different positions. But yeah, Mo, what are your thoughts? What are your thoughts going into this game, man?
All right, this is why I turn my camera on, because now we're finished with the fucking Man City talk, innit? Let's talk Arsenal for a second, man. That's all I'm saying, man. Can't lie to you, man. I was tired of that Man City talk, fam, after a while. Me, bro, do you know what it is with me? I'll be honest with you. It's more, I'm just looking for the way we play. Like, it's regardless of the result, I'll be honest with you. The result isn't a major thing for me. Like, if we lose, don't get me wrong, I'm going to be fuming. If we win, I'm going to be excited. But it's more the performance, because if you go off last season, the way we played against Man City was abysmal. Like, Etihad, they washed us. Second half at our yard, they washed us. So with me, it just comes down to, I just want to see how we kick ball. I want to see, yo, Pablo, allow me, man. You bought that top a year ago, G, just to show you got old school.
Hater. 2010, bro.
And it still fits you, yeah? Yeah, mad.
Broski, bro, no, I can't lie to you, bro. It's so real. It's getting time. My man's been going gym and that, you know what I'm saying?
Pablo, I can tell you've been gymming, bro. There's no way that shirt will fit you 13 years later, bro. I can tell you go gym.
I got a
Tell
loose
you
thing
got-
though.
yeah.
Nah, because you know this, you know the football shirts I grab all the time. I grab extra larges and larges because like I don't know, I just feel comfortable, bro. Like when I get a medium or something, bro, it's just uncomfortable, fam. I'll be real.
Nah, I hear you. But yeah,
That's
with
thing, bro,
Arsenal,
it's like, you know what I'm saying?
nah, I hear you, broski. You got Rocky. I can't lie, it's still in good condition because when I look at my
Yeah,
kits
bro.
in 2010, them man are
Yeah,
destroyed, fam. So the fact that
done up.
somehow
You gotta look after them, man.
I say 13 years later, his kit's in good condition. Mad. But what was I saying? Can you man hear me?
You gotta
Yeah,
look
we can
after it. Gotta look after it.
Boy.
Yeah, I can hear you, bro.
with-
Go on. Yeah, I can hear
with
you,
me,
go on.
Saad, it's more, bro. With me, it's just like I said, it's the performance. I just want to see the way we perform because there's so many new elements. Like if Zinchenko's most probably not gonna play, so you move Timber left back, Ben White. There's so many different variants we can play that I'm genuinely looking forward to it because I'm just more. It's the excitement of the signings. It's the excitement of the football we play. So I'll be honest with you. To me, it's more than a result. Tomorrow's way more than a result for me. I'm going to the match. It's way more than a result. The result don't mean piss for me. Like if we go there and lose on penalties, I'm not fuming. But if we go there, let's just say they do the same thing they done to us last season, then it's a bigger conversation because now do these men have a problem going up against City? Do you get what I'm saying? Like it's a bigger conversation with us versus City now if we go there and get washed because at some point mentally it does play a factor. So with me, yeah, like I said, man, it's just more I'm going there, keep an eye on certain man and just it's the performance for me, man. I can't lie. The result, not so much. I'm trying to see how we kick ball, man.
Like, but Mo, even in the Community Shield, yeah, you man have got a good record in the Community Shield as well. Like, I can't
Do you
lie.
know what it is,
Like, you
though,
lot,
Pablo? It's what Saad said, bro. It's Wembley. Like Wembley.
like when you beat us,
Arsenal,
like you beat us in 2014. Like do you know what I'm saying? You beat us 3-0. Like you're all right, man. I can't
2020
lie
as well.
to you.
2020 as well.
2020 as well. Like
And our record
yeah,
isn't that
it's
great
mad still.
either. Our record in the Community Shield isn't that great either, considering how many we've played.
Yeah, if I speak about that,
Considering how many we've played over the past 10 years, it's not been the best, to be honest. But like I think I agree with Mo. I think it's more performance wise. I would like to win, but like last season we lost to Liverpool and we lost in a very embarrassing way too. We didn't really perform well at all that game, but we still went on to do well in the season. So I don't think this game tomorrow, if we thrash Arsenal, for example, I don't think it's a make or break for me because, like I said, we lost it and we literally got torn apart pretty much by Liverpool, and we still went on to do really well. So, like I said, I don't see this as a make or break for either team going forward into the season.
No. I don't think it's a make or break for Arsenal. I just want to clarify. Like, I don't think it is a make or break. It's just more. It's because we're facing City. I just want to see the way we kick. Like if we lose, I'll be honest with you. I'm not going to be stressing. Like you might know me. I'm not going to be wilding out. I'm not a reactionary person. But it's just I don't want to go there and see players that don't know what they're doing type things. You get what I'm saying? Like if everyone looks lost, then it's just the worry is always going to be there. Like what's going on here? So if we go there and perform, and we still lose, I won't be fuming. But if we go there and lose 3-4-0, then it's a bigger question. What the fuck is going on here? Do you get what I mean? So it's the performance for me, not the result. I'll be honest.
Yeah, I'm exactly the same. I'm just trying to see how we go into this game with what team he picks. Obviously, Mikel Arteta, and yeah, like I'm just trying to see how serious he's gonna take this game. I think he's gonna take it seriously. I'm just trying to see what we're gonna play. Are we gonna play? Because I believe Zinchenko has been in training, which I wasn't sure yesterday, so I had to go and double check. But Zinchenko has been in training, so I don't know whether he's match fit.
No, yeah, Zinchenko's definitely training, and I think he's playing 5 minutes today for Ukraine.
So for me, I'm trying to see. I don't know if he's gonna play Timber and Zinchenko in that defense on left back and right back. But yeah, it's just, bro, it's interesting, exciting, bro. I can't wait to see what happens, bro, because I feel like this is my first taste of the real season. You know what I mean? All I've seen in preseason is literally like Mo. You could probably back me on this, bro. Never seen the same team. Never seen the same system. It's literally been different system, because he's tried so many different things with the players that he's brought in. So I'm just excited to see what team goes in with, see if he sticks with it.
Are you guys not concerned with Jesus' injury though? Do you think that's not like a big blow? Because it's like similar to last season where when Jesus got injured, like, you know, a lot of your fans were a bit wary about it, which is normal. You know, because
Do you know?
he's one
Do you know
of
what it is though, Pablo?
your
Do you know what
main
it is though? He's only missing. He's only gonna miss like 4 games, even though it says three to 4 weeks. When you look at the amount of games he's missing, he's only gonna miss like 4 games max, maybe 5,
3-4
because there's the
games.
international break. Because the international break as well. So like, I'm not worried about him now because the games with Nottingham Forest at home, United at home, the games we could get. If it was like a long-term injury, then I hear you. But I'm not. I'm not overly worried about it. I'll be honest with you, just because of the amount of games he's missing. I'm not stressed about it. Like, Jesus is my guy. Jesus is starting week in, week out for me.
Yeah. He's cold. He's cold.
Yeah, but I'm not.
He's
No,
cold
the
still.
injury.
Always
The
rated.
injury don't worry. The injury don't worry me. It's just more,
That's all right then.
bruv. It's you lot. It's just what we do against you lot that I want to see, man. Just because, bruv, what you lot done to us last season was, bro, that was abuse, man.
It's
Yeah,
PTSD.
That hurt,
It was
man.
crazy. But the thing is, even with the Gabriel Jesus situation, I think I have so much trust in Trossard filling in that position that I can't be nervous going into that game, because I know if I put Trossard in that position already from the games that I saw last season, I know that his link up between him and Martinelli is crazy. So they link up with each other very well. So I'm not going to be missing that much from Gabriel Jesus. Obviously, there's a little bit more of like pressing and just his pressing in general and his gameplay in general. There's a few bits here that you will miss, but overall, listen, Trossard could do it, man. He's already filled in that position for us last season, so I know he could do it. That's a tried and tested thing. Obviously, Eddie Nketiah is there, but I don't want to see that guy until the second half. Like if we're winning and that, bro, he wants to come on and then.
But do you know what it is, Saad? Yeah, I feel like I'll let you say if I go after that. This brother's been waiting. He's just been sitting there waiting. No, I was just gonna say, yeah, I feel like with Arsenal, yeah, I see what Arteta's doing with you guys, and you know what? Fair play. He's doing a good job. But I just feel like you need men in your team. I think because when you play against us, we saw last season, it's men against boys. We completely play you off the park. We bully you in one-on-ones every time.
No. Pablo, like no.
But Mo, come on. You have to. No, Mo. You have to admit it's men versus boys on that pitch.
No, but
it's not your fault. It's not your fault because you've got young players coming up. It's not your fault. But I think Arteta needs to bring in like some sort of experience. Okay, you got Jorginho, he's a winner. You've got Thomas Partey. You've got players, but I think Arteta needs to bring in more experience for you to get to the top.
Nah, to me,
I'll be honest, to beat us especially if you want to beat us.
To me, you know what it is with me though? I don't think we play City twice in the season in the league, so we don't. The focus shouldn't be beating City to me. Like, do you get what I'm saying? The focus shouldn't be would I want to beat you close, but the focus shouldn't be buy plays just for the sake of beating City. I think the reason what happened last season, and this ain't even a cop out, I think it was way more than experience. To me, there was way more the Salibas, the Tomiyasus, the Party fell off a cliff. There was so much more to me that the reason why it went wrong. Do you get what I'm saying? But do we need experience? Yeah, but I think if you look at it, I think the Jorginho was a smart buy. Whether you might like Zinchenko or not, because I don't know how City fans feel about Zinchenko, the experience is with him. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah, he's a good player. He's just not, he's just not part of Pep's plans, isn't it?
Exactly that. But to me, the main thing last season to me was the depth was hell. Like our depth wasn't there. Like if you look defensively, our depth weren't there. So the minute you shore that up with Timber, you now get a Declan Rice that you could play a double pivot if you want with him and Thomas. Because the thing is, against big teams, we couldn't play 2 centre mids that can hold. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, we went City away.
That was you're right.
That was the main thing for me because Xhaka, the revisionism of Xhaka is crazy to me because Xhaka was poor for Arsenal for 6.5 seasons, but he was good for a season and a half. So Xhaka played well last season, but when you're going Man City away, if you got Thomas Partey and Declan Rice and Odegaard, to me that shows it up way more because now Declan Rice can do double the job that Xhaka can, and then you've still got Thomas Partey. So like, to me, it comes down to the way we set up against big teams wasn't there for me. Away from home, we didn't have the setup for big teams because we couldn't. Do you get what I mean? Now,
you're right.
So to me, it's
we'll see tomorrow, man. We'll see tomorrow. We'll see what you do.
Tomorrow's a throwaway. Just in case we lose it, I'm letting everyone know that tomorrow's a throwaway match for me. Yeah, I'm just throwing that out there now. What do you say, broski?
For me, bro, it's honestly just I want to win the match, of course. Listen, there's 6 balls on the line, man, for us. This is a big game for me, man. Listen, if this was called the Super Cup, the English Super Cup, people would be taking this seriously.
Wait, what did you say is on the line? What did you
The
say on the line?
6-2, bro. 6-2.
You're shameless. You're shameless.
The only
You're
English
shameless.
club, the only English club to do it can do it. The only English club G75. Tell them.
Only English club. When Barcelona and Bayern Munich did this, yeah, in their leagues, because they obviously won. I think it's the Copa del Rey winner versus La Liga or
The Super Copa as well.
Yeah, the Super Copa over there.
Yeah.
They claim it, so I'm gonna be shameless, bro. We got the Super Cup next week. Listen, we got to start winning these things, man. But, you know, we got to have this. So for me, I want to win it as a fan. But if we do lose it, then I think our players, and I know Mo's gonna hate this, right? And I know Sad's gonna hate this as well. But I think our players will, if we lose, will be less likely for it to get into their mental kind of state than the Arsenal players. I think the Arsenal players, if they lose, it'll affect them more than it'll affect us. I think we can lose and it'll be like, yeah, it's just we can lose, and we can even lose 2 or 3-0. Yeah, and it'll be like, nah, you know, we'll see them in the league. But for them, I think if they lose, and if we win 2 or 3-0, I think it'll be like, yeah, a little bit. They'll remember it a little bit. But to be fair, saying that, Liverpool, we beat Liverpool, and Liverpool did destroy us in the title in 1920. So it can go the other way as well. It can be used as
I don't think, I'll be honest with you, I don't think it's got any ramifications for the season to me. If you lot beat us, because we've got Forest at home, I don't think they're going to look at and you lose to City and then Forest at home and they go, right, this is going to be... Nah, I think the thing is when we play you lot. Do you get what I'm saying? It's more when we play each other that it's... At some point, you're going to need to beat City. Like, enough's enough. At some point, we need to beat you, man. Do you get what I'm saying? So it needs to be done at some point, like regardless. So to me, it comes down to performance more than anything else. If we go there and play well and we lose, I don't really care. But if we go there and you lot smack us up, then it's just like, what the fuck is going on here, man?
But even we came close. We came close in the first game at the Emirates. Like first half, I think we had a decent half against you guys. Obviously, the second half it went tits up.
Do you know what's funny, son? Sorry, I don't mean to cut you off at all, brother. Do you know what's funny?
Go, bro. Go.
The game changer to me for Arteta was the Man City. I don't think people 2 seasons ago, because when was it? It was 2 seasons, the 2-1 match. I remember it was right underneath me when Rodri got the penalty. But that match there, even though City beat us, that the way we played, that was the game changer for Arsenal fans in the stadium. That's when everyone was like, okay, I understand what Arteta, in my opinion anyway, I think that should have been a match where everyone goes, I understand what Arteta's doing now. So when you play City, there is a bit of a mental thing with it, because that match, we battered you lot that match, respectfully. But you lot still won.
You did still, you did.
But do you know what I mean, though, Pablo? But it was more, bro, we hurt these. Bro, that was the first time after a game that everyone stayed behind and we're still clapping. Like, we don't normally do that. If we lose, everyone's going yard. We lost to you lot, everyone stood. We understand what's going on now. And this is 2 seasons ago. So to me, it's the performance more than anything else when you play City, man.
Yeah, I think that...
Did you say if I go on, bro? Go on.
No, bro, I was just going to say, I think that performance there, like, that was probably even better than the ones that you put up last season. I think that performance, even though you lost, what you had then was better than last season. So this is why this season you got Timber.
Do you certified that match? I was gonna throw a bottle at Rodri's head, bro. I can't lie to you, man. I was gonna throw a bottle at his head, bro. I can't lie, man. That guy wound me up, man. He wound me up.
What about KDB when he came off as well? You guys were already throwing bottles at him when he was coming off last season.
No. You remember 2 seasons ago, the one where Rodri got a penalty?
Yeah, Rodri, and then obviously
that one. That one, bro. I've never wanted to throw a bottle at someone like that in my life, G. Like he wound, like man. I can't tell you, man, how much I want to beat Man City, man. Like, I'm sick and tired of you, man. I'm sick and tired of you, man. I can't lie to you.
I got some breaking news. Mr. Hamza has joined us, man. Mr. Hamza. Hamza official has joined us. Man.
Hamza, before you go, you see Man City, the way these men are all wearing their kits, bruv, to prove themselves. I respect it. Even Hamza's got his kit on, bruv. These men are going above and beyond, fam.
Bro, I had my Man City top on. I had my Man City. Broski, I have my Man City top on. Show them, Melly. Show them, man. You know what it is, Mo? We signed Guardiola. That's why. I had to. I had to rep the City shirt today, man. Guardiola came in, you know what I'm saying? I had to rep it, bro. I
respect that. I respect. Hamza's still trying to figure out his internet connection, bro. This guy showed his face and disappeared, bro.
No, I think he's coming back still. I think he's just got some connection issues, man. Nah, but Community Shield, man. Mo, you know what it is, yeah? If you lot, I don't think it means. Obviously, it means something to us because there's 6 people. But I think let's keep it a buck, innit? It is minor. It's not going to determine the whole season, is it? Like we lost to Leicester 1-0 in the Community Shield. so many City fans were just melting down, saying, "Oh, Grealish ain't the right guy." All of this. And obviously, he didn't do well the first season, but it's like it's not going to determine the season. Do you know what I'm saying, Mo? So
That's what I'm saying.
but
Like, it's,
that's what you're saying. It's about the
just a
performance, isn't it?
Yeah, it's about
Yeah, of course, man.
100%.
100%.
Hamza's struggling with his mind. Look at him. Hamza's struggling with his
Hamza,
mind.
I do
Hamza, there,
think,
bro.
We'll beat you. We're
I
gonna
do
beat
think
them.
this game is more for a thing for Arsenal than City at this point, just because I feel like you have more to prove than us, performance wise, not results wise. Because obviously, if we batter you and you still win, I do still think you'll be happy because you won, but you would still be angry and disappointed with the performance because that's the main thing you're looking at and looking for. Same likewise of us.
The scoreline don't mean nothing to me. I'll be honest, I'm letting you man know that. The scoreline don't mean shit to me. Like, it don't. All I care about is the way we kick. Like, I can't preface it enough. Like, I couldn't care less to you about the like. Win or lose, man's going there, gonna go enjoy it. But if we go there and play well and you man win, then I'm good. Hamza, you're on mute.
Nah, I think he was talking to
I said, yeah, we should be beating you easy, man. I predict that we're gonna win 3-1. We're gonna win 3-1 easy. I think tomorrow again is gonna be men against boys. I don't think that there's level to this game. I think you can't beat us. I think you fear us before even we stepped on the pitch.
I was expecting that. I can't even lie.
Man, it's Hamza.
No,
No, but he's right though. He's right.
I think you fear us. You're scared of us so much. And I think by the time we step on the pitch, I think you guys will be scared. And I think that's how we're gonna win the game. I think you guys are just not good enough to defend. And if we had Vardio there, oh no, sir. And tomorrow I'm gonna see Saliba. I wanna see this top Saliba that you guys rave about that. And Saka again, big game. Let's see what he does. Big game player. We'll see.
Okay, wait. Now you said, hold on, you man. Give me 2 seconds. Saka, big game player, yeah? Let me just ask you a question. In the World Cup, who was England's best player?
He didn't do well against USA.
No. Don't dodge the question. I'll ask you a simple question, broski. In the World Cup, who was England's best player? Why are you looking into the sky, fam?
I don't know.
It was Saka still. It was Saka, Hamza.
Thank you very much, Pablo. Let's keep it a buck. Euro.
We'll keep it a buck.
But
what did he deliver? But what did he deliver?
No. Don't change the question now, though.
Didn't deliver nothing, did he?
No, but that's because of England. That's because of Harry Kane. Harry Kane missed that. No, but Harry Kane missed that penalty. You hear me? But what I'm saying is, let's keep it a buck, you man. He played Theo Hernandez against France. He was their best player. He went to the Euros. He was a top 3 player. He played for Arsenal last season against Man United. Banged against Liverpool. Plays well. Like, but what I'm saying is, let's not.
Liverpool away. Man City.
No. What I'm saying.
Yeah.
No.
West
What I'm saying.
Ham,
Hold on.
Brighton, Southampton.
No. You can't.
You
can't pick
him to play
No. You can't. Okay, but if I tell you there's other big games, you might not act like there's only 4 big games in the season.
Yeah,
are you telling me?
Pressure.
Okay, let me ask you a question, Hamza. The 10th game of the season, Arsenal were clearing the league, right? So after the 10th game, we all agree everything after that is an important game. The 15th game.
No, I think the last few games is what proves me. Great players perform under pressure. Great players perform under pressure.
You're right. And who was England's best player against France? Even though Harry Kane missed that penalty.
Kyle Walker. I believe Kyle Walker.
Kyle Walker had Mbappe. He had him.
Pablo, keep it a stat, bro. We know Saka was their best player against. But he's playing Theo Hernandez.
No way. It's Kyle Walker pocketing Mbappe.
Are you not skunk?
Wait, against France. Let's keep it back. Kyle Walker was their best player, fam.
No.
This guy kept Mbappe. No, if it wasn't for Kyle Walker,
England are losing 4-5.
Pablo, I'm not hating, yeah. Kyle Walker's arguably England's greatest ever left right back. I'm not even hating on Kyle Walker, wallahi. But my guy was going up against Theo Hernandez. My guy is Theo Hernandez. My guy is Theo Hernandez. He was going up against Theo Hernandez. And every attack came from that hand side. For
but Theo Hernandez defensively is not great.
Okay,
you asked the Italian
I thought Inter Milan fan.
Now he's not. Yo, sir, now he's not that good.
Hold on a minute.
Cooking this
Theo Hernandez ain't that great.
Defensively, he's not. He's poor defensively. Defensively, he's like Cancelo. He's another Cancelo. I'm telling you, Italian fans told me this.
No, Pablo,
did you watch Inter versus AC Milan?
Hamza, hold on. Regardless, bro. Pablo, you already agreed with me, bro. You said Saka was England's best player in the Euros. Regardless of if he won anything. That's a big stage.
Hold on. Actually, pretty best player. Yeah, I'll give it to him still. I can't lie.
The World Cup, he was a top 3 player for them in the Euros. Sorry, in the Euros, he was a top 3 player. You're not acting like this Donny has not done it at the big stage. There is no bigger stage than the World Cup. Like,
But
what we
he
doing
had
here,
to, but he
brother?
had to deliver. But he had
No,
to
he had
deliver
to
though.
deliver.
He had to deliver.
No,
He didn't deliver.
Against USA,
Hold on.
against USA, he
Hold
got
on,
taken
Hamza,
off
hold on,
15
hold on.
minutes.
Hold on,
He was
hold on.
one of
You're
the
gonna
worst
give
players
me.
in the pitch against USA.
Okay. God
Before
bless you.
that,
God bless you.
I remember
Okay,
he
God
got
bless
taken
you.
off 15 minutes. People criticized him.
God bless. Okay, God bless you. You remember a lot. What I'm saying is, don't you man. Let's not do this flip floppy thing, bro. Let's not act like now Saka don't perform. Like, let's not do that, bro. You man are just lying for the sake of lying now, bro. Let's not act like Saka.
I
Oh, the guy's
think
21.
our
You man are
metric
22.
for
Like,
big
what are we doing
games
here?
is different to your metric for big games. Like
You man didn't know big
when
games
we
until 10 years ago. Stop telling me
when
you man know
we
what big games are like. I don't know what big games is.
Hey, bro, we know about
You man are
giving
new
up.
to.
About
What
I
are you man
said
telling me?
I said metric because like you're bringing up United, but for example, I think that playing United that season when we won the league at Aston Villa, that was a bigger game than any game that season for us. So
Yeah, facts. It
No,
was.
no,
You
you're
for
not
know.
this
listening.
win the
I'm saying
league.
The
I'm
thing
not
is,
arguing.
No.
No,
even
no,
even
Ellie,
Sporting
hold on,
Lisbon.
Hamza, hold on. My argument. I'm not
Yeah,
arguing.
Sporting Lisbon. He didn't turn up. He got
Pablo,
taken off
Pablo.
Hamza. They had
To
to
me, that
take
was
him
a
off.
okay. Now, see this what I'm saying.
Arteta was
Sporting
saving
Lisbon.
him.
No,
all
okay.
good and
Sporting
fine
Lisbon.
in the
Okay,
comments.
but if you ask me what's the bigger game,
Even against
Sporting
us in
Lisbon.
the cup.
Hold on, Pablo, hold
Go
on.
on, Mo, go on.
If you ask me what's the bigger game, the Sporting Lisbon match or the Man United match at home, I'm going to tell you Man United at Yard was a bigger game. Why? Because we was first, still competing for the league. I didn't care about the Sporting Lisbon match. You man are not going to convince me that
The
I
Sporting
cared about
Lisbon
it.
match, you're
But
going to go
I
through.
think
It's
Oh,
Europe.
Pablo,
You've got no
well,
European heritage. You haven't won anything in Europe.
Pablo,
So
I had tickets. Pablo, I had tickets for £5. I didn't go to the match. I didn't care for it. G.
£5. Look at this, Hamza.
Like,
£5.
well,
I
last,
think the
think man
better
cares about the
question
Sporting Lisbon
though
match.
is the Community Shield a big game though?
No.
Because that's the thing. That's what I'm getting at. Is the Community Shield a big game in terms of all the other games we're bringing up? For example, World Cup, last game of the season, Champions League runs, finals, FA Cup finals, all this good stuff. Does it compare to that in terms of big games? I don't really think so.
That's what I said, Ellie. I said stirring the
That's
pot.
why I was getting at everyone's metrics different. I don't think it's a big game. It's important, but not big.
That's what I said.
No, that's what I'm saying. No,
That knows what he's doing. He
Sorry.
checked a few ingredients there. You know what I'm saying? He's cooking a dish, man. Let him cook.
I think it depends on. I think it
is doing
depends on
Hamza's job.
confidence. This boy, I've seen this boy here 2 games in a row, 2 seasons in a row. When going gets tough, this boy doesn't know pressure. He just buckles under pressure. I've seen the last few games when they needed him the season before that, Newcastle, all these games, and they missed top 4. He did not deliver.
Hamza, let me ask you a question.
This
Okay, wait.
season,
Hamza, wait.
when let me give you an example. They're winning.
Wait.
They got 2-2. Liverpool crawled it back 2-2. He runs on through on goal. Guess what? Look at his pass against Martinelli. He panics. He couldn't do that pass.
Okay.
Yeah, they drew that goal.
Hamza.
He goes to West Ham. He has a penalty to make Arsenal go 3-0 up. He buckled under pressure. Cresswell pockets him that game. He puts his head down. Next game after that, Southampton, Brighton. So I don't see this boy is not a big game player. I think you guys give him a lot of sympathy.
Okay, God bless you. Hamza's doing Hamza's job, which I respect. I can't lie. I'm not going to get rattled, but he's doing a very good job at the moment. You mentioned the West Ham penalty that he missed. Was the penalty against you, man, a big penalty?
Thank you. I was just about
Yeah,
to
Yes or no?
big penalty. Big.
Did he score that one?
Which one? The West Ham one?
That
penalty
Edison
against you
time.
guys.
No. The penalty against you. The penalty against you at the
we can't
yard.
do that now. We can't do anything.
No, what I'm saying is number one, Saka
Okay.
is 21, 22 years old. That's number one. Let me just put that out there. Number two, when we're talking about these matches, give context to these matches. Against Newcastle away, Broski, Rob Holding was starting for us. The last season, Thomas Partey fell off a cliff more than Bukayo Saka.
Is Newcastle away a big game?
I'm saying Newcastle 2 seasons ago, when we lost to Newcastle 2 seasons ago, Ellie. Because it was a top 4. So that's what Hamza.
Yeah, so it was a big game
No,
because you lost out on top 4.
No.
That
But
is,
to me, it wasn't Saka. To me,
Yeah,
it
it
was
is a big
Saka's
game
fault.
because they lost out on top 4.
But what I'm saying is, it wasn't Saka's fault. There's context, regardless of you man are trying to blame Saka or not. There's context to everything that happens in the
No, but
football.
but what Hamza's trying to say is, if Saka was such a big game player like you guys make him out to be, yeah,
No, but
he
then-
has to
but then
step
if
up
I
in these
give-
moments.
You're
Like top
right. But then
4,
if I,
you
no,
brought
no,
on top 4. He
He's
should have
not,
stepped
he's
up.
not a big moment player.
Then wait.
He's not a big moment player. He's
No,
not.
hold on.
He's not.
But
He's
then when
not.
I give you big moments, you're gonna tell me forget that. Because when I tell you the World Cup and the Euros, you're gonna tell me forget that.
No,
When I
but-
tell you Liverpool,
Yeah, but where did
hold
they
on,
go in
Hamza,
the end
hold
with the
on,
World Cup?
hold
You
on,
can throw
hold
these
on, hold on.
narratives. Then
Hold
where did they go in the
He
end?
wasn't.
No, hold on. Fuck where it went. That's not his fault. He was their best player. If they didn't win it or not, regardless of you man can't. It's not a win or lose thing. There's 11 men on the pitch. You man can't dictate what's a big game is if a player performs. If you go to the Euros and the World Cup and you perform and the team don't win, that's got nothing to do with you. You're still a big game player if you win, if you play well.
Can we
Just
get
'cause your team
the
lose,
host
how
of
are
the
you not on here?
stream's views on this? He's been pretty silent.
Listen, no, because my Mo is doing what I'm exactly what I'm gonna say. Even if you want me to carry on, I'll carry exactly what Mo was saying. Even now, I'll prove to you exactly why like even Rob Holding being in the team and everything affects Saka, yeah. Because you lot might think, what's Rob Holding got to do with Saka? You have to understand that with Rob Holding being there, anytime you have Rob Holding in that defensive position, first of all, he doesn't keep the high line that we normally keep. Secondly, he has to get babied by the centre back that's next to him and the right back that's next to him. That takes Ben White away from his duties of moving forward and overlapping with Saka and doing all of that. Hence why.
Forget that. Do me a favor.
The
Look at Newcastle away 2 seasons ago because Hamza mentioned it. Look at the midfield we started. Tell me if Thomas Partey was like, bro. There's context
So
to
on Rob
everything. You man,
Holding
respectfully.
though, so you think scoring against Man City is a big game moment?
No, I don't think. I think there's games he's performed
As
in
Saka
big games.
did.
No. I'm saying there's games I'm saying he's performed in big games and he hasn't performed in big games.
No,
But this narrative,
he has. But I think when you try and make out that he's like solidified a big game player, I think this season with you being in the Champions League is his opportunity to solidify that rather than confidently
1,000%.
saying it.
I think he needs a moment.
No,
He needs a
See,
moment.
that's why I personally don't say it confidently, because this season I think not just for Saka, for your entire squad, is a chance to prove themselves as these guys, this team. Do you know what I mean? Like, I just think
Ellie,
Champions League club level is massive.
I agree with you. Until the Champions League starts, I agree with you because obviously. But my point is, when I tell you a 19, 20, 21-year-old has done this in the biggest stages of the World Cup and the Euros, to now act like he's not a big game player is disingenuous. I'm just saying, let's just keep it consistent. At the age he's at, has he performed at big games? Yes, he has. Has he not performed in some big games? Yes, he's 21. Do I expect that both? Regardless, when Ronaldo, I'm not saying Bukayo Saka is anywhere near Ronaldo, don't get it twisted, you man. But when these men were 19, 20, 21, there's an air of consistency you're going to figure out as you get older. And then now next season is where the consistency is where we really want it from him. But let's not act like there is no bigger stage than the World Cup for me. And if he's their best player at the age of 20, 21, bro, let's not rewrite history on Saka and act like big games, this guy shrinks. He don't, but there's a bigger context to Arsenal in everything that happened. Newcastle away, there was no party. We'll start in El Nini. Like, there's context to everything with Arsenal when you might really want to dig into it.
You know what it is, Mo? Yeah, I'll say that he's a big game player, but in the high, when we're talking about highest pressure, when the pressure's the highest it can be at the time, normally, from the evidence that we've seen, he hasn't been able to deliver. When the pressure is literally to his throat, off the ball.
How can you say that? If they went to the finals in the Euros, he was a top 2, top 3 player.
Within the Euro final, the Newcastle game, as someone said, then obviously when you guys
Euro finals, he was arguably their best player.
Nah, come on.
Are you crazy? Bro, Euros, that's why my man dragged him. He was clean through and my man dragged him for the back of his neck.
Nah, it was good. He was good. The best.
He was arguably their best player in the World Cup final.
Honestly.
Yeah, no, Saka came in that
Euro
Euros final and like gave us something more to strive for, considering like we scored that early goal from Luke Shaw and he obviously came on, and then we sat back and he came on and gave us some strive. Like you said, he was in on that 1-on-1 and he got dragged by Benucci, I think it was, which was shocking, by the way. I mean, I'm an England fan, so I'm fuming at that. I rate Saka for England.
That should have been a red card, by the way.
I'm an England fan. I love every single player that represents England. So I'm not gonna sit here and act like Saka doesn't play well for England. Of course he does, but we're speaking club level here because we all know that international and then club level you can't really.
But you can't do that if you're talking big games. You can't say forget international when international stage is a big stage. You can't tell me
it is, but then I could turn around and say Otamendi is a big game player because he was playing at centre back for Argentina and he won.
But then
they won the World Cup.
No, because he wasn't anywhere near one of their best players. If you're their best player going to a Euros final and you're one of their best players in the World Cup and all the talent around you in England, I'm sorry, it's picking and choosing of what's a big game. Because if I tell you lot a big game now, if I say, for example, Tottenham away, if I say to you lot Liverpool at home, if I say to you lot United at home, you might can't pick and choose. Those 3 are 3 big games.
It's like I said with the Champions League,
Massive.
like I just think this is his chance to solidify that title for rivals, especially. You lot may think he is, but for me and other rivals who may disagree with it, this is his chance to solidify. I do think he can perform in big games because he's proven he can for England, for Arsenal. But like G Certified said, there's been big pressure moments where he's not shown up. So I think this season, especially with the Champions League, where there will be big pressure moments all throughout the competition, I think this is definitely his absolute chance to prove rivals wrong. Say like, look, I am that guy, and I'm going to prove you wrong in the biggest competition in club football.
No, I definitely agree with you, Dave.
Think about it like Harry Kane. Think about it like Harry Kane, yeah. Like Harry Kane is a big game player. When you think about like in the Premier League, he scores against every like big six opposition. But then when it got to the Champions League final, the Euros final, that's something that Kane always gets criticized for today. So that's what I mean. I mean, Saka can become this world-class talent, but then they'll always say in those finals or in those certain moments.
Bro, I can't hold it again. If a 21-year-old bangs in big games and their team don't win, you're not about to hear me say to you, man, a 21-year-old is not a big game player when he's performed in big games, but the team don't win. The Broski is 21 years old when he's doing this. Like, what's going on here? You might acting like this guy's a 26-year-old in his prime.
If you're young and you're playing at the big, let's face it, the World Cup that's the world stage.
Why do you guys keep using France as the only game? Why is France the only game you've ever mentioned?
I didn't mention France.
France.
Hamza, you know what's mad?
When we don't brag about Kyle Walker, about
Hamza, number one, stop mentioning a 31-year-old Kyle Walker to a 21-year-old Bukayo Saka. That's number one. Stop.
But Kyle Walker,
what are we doing here? Like, bro, he's 31. Let me come back to me when Saka's 31 and we'll see what he's done.
Exactly, but Kyle Walker being 31, pocketing a generational talent.
You're not listening.
And imagine Kyle Walker at a young age. That's what I'm saying. That's when I say
Kyle Walker was at Sheffield. Okay, perfect. Thank you very much. Let's see what Kyle Walker was doing at 20. Hold on. What was Kyle Walker doing at 20?
Saka got pocketed by Kanji.
Hamza, hold on. Because you said let's talk about Walker when he was 2021. Wasn't he at Sheffield United? He was at Sheffield United. So when he was the same age as Bukayo Saka, Kyle Walker was at Sheffield United. Then he came to Tottenham. Then he went to Man City and bang. You man are doing some mad mention on a 21-year-old. Hold on, Hamza, 3 seconds. You told me Kyle Walker. So when you man are mentioning Kyle Walker, don't give me someone that's 31 years old who right now is at his ugly back end of his prime, but still his prime. And Bukayo Saka's 2021 doing this. You man need to give him time. You man are not.
No, he doesn't,
when did we look at? When did we look?
Confidence issue, man.
There is no confidence.
Confidence. This boy needs to be pampered and all that stuff.
Okay, where was his confidence issues against United at home?
You know when you can tell a young player who thrives on pressure. Man.
Bro,
it's not something about age.
When we played United at home, they were 4 points behind us, and they were creeping up to us. We needed to win that game just for our title challenge to stay alive and for us to stay ahead of Man United. What did he do? He went and banged. He stopped Luke Shaw the whole game. Like, let's just keep it consistent. He's 21, 22. Unless you man want him to score 45 goals in a season, the metric is crazy to me. He's done it in big games.
Mel,
he hasn't. Hold on, Ellie, last thing.
Said, though, is me saying that I want to see what he does in the Champions League, not giving him time.
No, I agree. Ellie, not Ellie. I genuinely agree with you there. I genuinely want to see what Bukayo Saka does in the big games. But I'm saying this what Hamza is saying in regards of, he can't do it. We can see it in his eyes. Bro, when I mention games, not you, Ellie. Hamza throws it out the window. But then he gives me 4 or 5 games where he's played bad. 2 things can be true. He hasn't performed it. Hold on, Hamza. 2 things can be true. He hasn't performed in some big games. He's performed in some big games. Both things can be true. You might not acting like they both are alien to each other. Both things can be true. And next season we're in the Champions League. Let's see what he does. Drink your tea, Hamza.
So I'm gonna watch him in the biggest game in the Champions League. And if this boy doesn't do well, man, my God. You overhype this guy, man, so much, man.
No, there's no overhype. There is no overhype, Hamza. You're acting like we're taking somebody who scored like 5 or 6 goals in the season last season, and we're saying, oh my God, he's the best right winger in the world. No, we're taking someone who scored double digits on goals and assists last season. That was only in the Premier League, let alone what he did in other competitions. So you have to understand, we're not trying to gas up some guy that's putting up in pettier numbers. Like,
you know what it is though, Sada? Do you know what it is though? It's the consistency that I don't. It's the non-consistency that I don't like. Because if I say KDB don't perform for Belgium, that's a fact, right? Against Belgium, big games in Belgium in the World Cup and the Euros, KDB goes missing. But we know KDB is a big game player. But
exactly.
It's the same thing. He's performed in some. He hasn't performed in some. Bro, you man, it's two
The
fixtures
guy's
true
a
at the same
fraud.
time.
The guy's a fraud. The guy's a fraud. Look at more. More, you're a
21-year-olds
fraud.
a fraud. Like, come
No,
on,
one second,
come
one
on,
second. The guy's a fraud, yeah. The fact that you said that KDB doesn't perform big games. Are you joking? Are you joking?
Hamza, you didn't.
In fact,
Hamza, you
No,
didn't hear. Hamza, hold on.
in the
Hamza,
World Cup,
hold on.
one second, in the
Hamza,
World
hold
Cup,
on.
let me,
Hold on,
let me
hold on,
finish.
Hamza, 2 seconds. No, because you didn't hear what I said.
No,
Zahid.
because you're
You didn't hear
saying
what.
I'm gonna cut
No,
you
you
out.
didn't. No, you didn't hear what I said. I said KDB is a big game performer. I said KDB is a big game performer. He is. Wallahi, he is.
But you said in the World Cup.
No.
And I
I
wanna
said there
bring
are some.
games.
I'm saying there are some big games he has not performed in. There's some big games he
Name
hasn't
the
performed
big
in.
games he hasn't performed in the World Cup.
Did he bang in the World Cup? This last World Cup that just went? Yes or no?
Yeah, he banged it.
No, he
banged,
didn't.
yeah?
No, he did
He
not.
banged.
Okay, let me
He
say
banged.
No,
one
he did
second,
not.
one second.
In fact, I could pull up the Morocco game.
One second.
I could pull up the
One second.
Morocco game where I watched that game
Morocco
and he
game.
was
You know, no, the thing is, he's playing with
finito,
jokers.
bro.
He's playing with
No.
jokers.
Hold on.
One second.
Hold on.
One second. One
Hold
second.
on.
Let me finish.
Hold on. Hamza,
Against Brazil, he knocked out
Hamza,
Brazil.
hold on.
He knocked out Brazil.
Hold on.
He knocked
Hold
out
on.
Brazil from the
in the
World
World
Cup. No
Cup.
disrespect. Yep, 100%. He knocked out
Wait,
Brazil.
This World Cup, yeah.
No, the season before that. He's the one that knocked out
fuck the
Brazil.
season before that.
The
But what
Euro
I'm doing is,
and
but
the
G, hold
Italy
on.
one. He knocked out, nearly knocked out Italy. If Lukaku
Hamza,
didn't
hold.
finish those 3 chances that he created.
Hamza,
Come
2
on, man.
seconds.
The
You know what
biggest
I don't
game.
like there? You know what I don't like? I Saad, G Certified, and Ellie. I all want you to hear what Hamza said, yeah? Hamza just goes, he was playing with jokers, talking about KDB. But when I mentioned that we played El Neni against Newcastle away 2 seasons ago, it's forget that. When I tell you Rob Holding thing,
Newcastle, man.
why is it?
No,
Why?
Imagine
No. What I'm
Newcastle.
saying is,
I'm
what I'm saying is, not Ellie, not you, Ellie. Generally, this ain't towards you because I know how you feel about Saka. But what I'm
No, I
saying is,
caught him. I
don't.
caught him.
No.
Blood pressure is high.
What I'm saying is, don't mention he played with jokers because if I do the same thing, you're gonna tell me forget that. Say, let's keep it consistent, broski. That's what I'm asking for. But the Saka conversation is going on for time. I can't lie to you. Sean.
Yeah. Listen, let's move on, yeah, because the next port of call, man, is a combined 11, man, and I'm not gonna lie, it's gonna get techie because I'm trying to put players in there, man. I'm trying to put. Listen, firstly, let's start off with the goalkeeper because
They've got that one, man. They've got that one, man.
The goalkeepers, that's the easiest position on the pitch. I think either that or Haaland or
You've
Rodri.
got that one, man.
So, goalkeeper, Edison, right back. Now this is where it gets techie. Unless we're putting John Stones in that right back position.
Yeah, for me, bro, I'd put John Stones in. That's the
what?
that's
No Kyle Walker. No Kyle Walker.
Nah. If it's from last season, if you're asking us overall, then okay, we'll put Kyle Walker. But if it's from last season or like right now, then it'll be bro. After the Champions League final, bro, it has to be John Stones. Yeah,
I hear you. Kyle Walker, but it's what we just said, bro. Kyle Walker pocketed Mbappe, kept Vinicius quiet to a certain degree. Like, come on, man, it's Kyle Walker we're talking about.
But even if it's Kyle Walker, I think both of them get in before White or Tomiyasu. I'm not sure what you guys think of it. If it's from
well, we have to decide the metric then. Is it based off last season or is it based off overall players?
So,
if it's overall, then
it's based off last season going into this season. So it's based off going into this season based on how they played last season. It's not. We're not doing an overall thing. Otherwise, it's not really going to be fair. You lot won the Premier League in the last four out of 5.
Yeah, that's what I was getting at. So if it is based off last season, then I agree with you. Certified, it should be 100% John Stones at right back.
Yeah. So centre backs, I think we can say that Ruben Diaz and Saliba get in there.
Yeah. Okay.
Given that.
Saliba's in there by force by fire.
Yeah. Hamza's not in it, man. He would have tried to fight that with his life.
Oh yeah, I think Diaz and Saliba, I think, is a fair.
Yeah, I agree with that.
That's fair. What I was going to say though is that if we did decide in the end to put Walker at right back, there would have been a debate between Stones and Saliba. There would have been a debate there.
Not for me, G. I can't lie to you. I still would take Saliba. I can't lie to you.
Yeah, because like we said, if it was overall, it would obviously be John Stones. But if it's based on last season, then obviously I think it's Saliba and Diaz.
I think a lot of people, and I'm not saying this is you, but because Saliba got injured kind of March times, I think people forgot, not saying you are, G, but I think people forgot how good Saliba actually is. Like, I genuinely think people have forgot how good he is as a centre-back. So, to me, Saliba and Ruben Diaz is perfect.
Yeah, well, now to be honest, I think that Saliba, I think he'll be one of the best centre backs in the Premier League for the next 5-10 years. Whenever he's staying, it depends how long he wants to stay. But I think he'll stay for a long time. I don't think he'll
I
go.
think he's Madrid bound, man. Within the 5 years time, I think he's Madrid bound.
Yeah, no, I think he will get an offer from another top club in Europe, maybe.
I think the only one I think
Maybe.
there's certain people I look at in Arsenal, like I knew, like there's certain people like you knew Cesc Fabregas is Barcelona bound. I look at Saliba as at some point I think you are Madrid. Like if Arsenal end up winning the league or whatever, I think at some point it's you're a Madrid defender. Like everything about you is.
Yeah. He would go. I feel like he would go to Real Madrid as well. I could see him doing that, being their next Rafael Varane. You know what I mean? So I can
young,
see.
He's still got time, man. In 5 years' time, he's 26, 27. He's got time, man.
I just wanna put out a bit breaking news, bro. This just broke.
The Brighton story.
Yeah, Brighton have just reached an agreement with Kudus, man. Mohamed Kudus, man. That has dampened my mood so much, man, because I was hoping to get this kid, man.
So where is he going next season then? Because Brighton don't hold on to their players for a long time.
They're gonna sell it for like 80 mil. They'll sell it for 80 mil somewhere, man.
It might have to be to us, you know, Ali. The way it's looking right now on the wings, it might have to be to us.
I hate doing deals with Brighton though. They can keep the stinky players.
We've seen what they've done with Chelsea, but yeah,
that's what I mean. The Cucurella deal, I'm like, got PTSD and never want to negotiate with them again.
You dodged the bullet, though. You dodged the bullet with that one.
We did.
It's 40 million euro. It's 40 million euro.
Hopefully, Arsenal just
so like 35 mil.
That's not bad.
I'm thinking
they're gonna make like a 50 million profit off him.
Easily.
So clever. Such a good run club.
Are we going left back next? Sad.
Yeah.
Yes. Sorry. Left back.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. I feel like it has to be Ake. I would put Zinchenko there, but I just feel like the way he came into that position last season, it was just like I didn't expect him to play that well. In that position.
About not Ake, Zinchenko. I remember Mo asked us a question about Zinchenko, about what us City fans feel about him. And for me, personally, what he did last season is what I think of him. Yeah, he's a great player in attack. He's actually very underrated when it comes to his technical ability, and he's one of the best technical players, maybe even in the league. But when it comes to defending, that guy can sometimes be suspect, and it's understandable.
You know what? I'll be honest with you, I'm alright with that. Like you can get away with, depending on how your team is set up, you can get away with a bad defending full. Trent Alexander they've won everything there is to win with Trent Alexander as their right back. Not saying Zinchenko's to Trent, because Trent is generational to me. But depending on how your team is, you can like Zinchenko, I can't like that's my left back. Like I fuck with Zinchenko, that's my guy. But I'll give you you look at it, you can grab back here, I can't lie.
But you know what I'm talking about.
I was trying to hate. I can't lie, G. I was getting ready to hate, but I was like, you might can have that one, man.
No, I'm not gonna lie. The way I'm gonna do this midfield, it's gonna have to be one holding midfielder. No, it's gonna have to be one defensive midfielder and two holding midfielders. Because listen, obviously Rodri, I feel like he has to go into that position. I think we could all agree on that.
I think the midfield's simple, you know.
I think it's simple as well. I would go Rodri, De Bruyne, and Odegaard. That's the way I think
that's what it is.
I don't know if you guys agree. Let's see.
No shout for party.
No,
not against Rodri.
No,
not against Rodri.
Against anyone
Rodri,
else?
Now Rodri would stay in, but for Odegaard.
Nah.
No. You have to have Odegaard in there. You have to. From the season that he had, you have to have him in there. And same with
Odegaard. Odegaard is. I can't tell you how elite I think Odegaard is. Like when I hear people try to debate Bruno Fernandes and Odegaard, that is the bane of my life. I hate that shit. Shit. I'll be honest with you. I think KDB, Odegaard, and then Rodri behind them is perfect for me.
Yeah, I can.
Obviously, I think it would be Gundogan, Rodri, and De Bruyne in the midfield, but sadly, he's not with us next season. So
we thank God for that, Ellie. We thank God. Let him go Barcelona and enjoy the sun.
And then it goes to the front line, man. The front line is waiting to be techie.
Haaland's done. We know Haaland up front.
Yeah.
We know who's right, and we know who's right wing. I think I think me and Eddie can.
Yeah, Bernardo Silva.
We can all.
No,
Okay.
G. No, G. No, wait, G. What was you gonna say, G? Chat to me because I know where G's going with this.
Bro, I was gonna
Yeah.
say striker, Haaland.
No,
Then I was gonna say right wing, Saka.
there
and
we
then-
go.
And then left wing, you guys are gonna hate this, but I'm gonna have to say my guy Grealish, man. I got
It is Grealish.
to put my guy
So wait,
Grealish.
so Ellie, no, but Ellie's got a City front three. I just want to point out there. Ellie said, "Fuck the games. I'm going all City." So I respect Ellie's consistency. I can't lie. Can't lie. Me personally,
No, I said Saliba, so one guy, but Bernardo Silva didn't play right wing last season, so obviously he can't go right wing.
So you're giving it to Bukayo Saka, Ellie?
Yeah.
I'm going Bukayo Saka, Haaland, and I'll be honest with you, man. I'm taking Martinelli over Grealish. I'll be completely honest with you.
No.
Yeah, I'll be completely honest with you.
Grealish.
I'm taking. I fuck with Grealish. I like Grealish, but Martinelli is different.
But why does Martinelli, based on obviously last season going into this season, why does Martinelli get in over Grealish?
I'm just talking about what they've done in the league. Because obviously, do you know where it gets techie? Because you lot were in the Champions League. You lot won the Champions League. So like,
But we said
I can't
based off
compare.
last season, not based off the Premier League.
No, but that's what
alone.
I'm saying. It's a bit. It has to be. If we're doing all competitions, then naturally Grealish won everything there is to win. But if you're telling me I've got a starting left winger next season and it's out of Martinelli and Grealish, and I've got to pick one of those two to start for me next season, I'm gonna go with Martinelli.
No, I think Grealish
offers up-
performed better last season consistently, especially across all competitions. I just think he was performing to such a high level.
I think what Mo's trying to say though is that Martinelli would offer more to a game in regards to the assists and to the goals front. You know what I mean? Because he scores goals, and I said this in a stream yesterday that I was on. Like Martinelli, his set pieces, his corners are some of the most accurate corners I've seen in the league. Like this guy consistently hits at least one Arsenal player with a corner, at least. So his corners are so consistent.
Big games like Grealish, that goal against you lot at the Emirates, for example, was a very good goal. I like an example. And then we're talking Champions League and obviously FA Cup and whatnot. I just think
Ellie,
the way that Grealish performed consistently across all competitions was just very, very good to just not put him in.
No, Grealish is the best.
And we're talking Champions League experience going into next season. You've got that with Grealish.
No, but what I'm saying is Grealish. The way I can say I rate Grealish is you lot paid 100 million for him and no one's talking about it. So that shows you Grealish is elite. The fact that you lot paid that much money and no one's talking about it. So Grealish is an elite player to me. I'm not here knocking Grealish. But I think Martinelli and Grealish were and Rashford were top three left wingers in the league last season. So to me, you can argue all three of them. But if it's up to me, I'm taking Martinelli over Grealish. But if someone says to me they're taking Grealish over Martinelli, these are one of the only few positions where I don't think you're wrong either way. Does that make sense? Like,
I get what you mean about the goals and assists, but Grealish and Haaland have a very, very good link up between the both. So. Like seeing that last season, if that's the logic we're using for the team, like contributions, like I think it's silly to say like Grealish wouldn't contribute as much as Martinelli because he definitely would because of the partnership.
No. Grealish definitely would. Definitely, I don't think Grealish is elite to me, but it's like I'm saying. I just think it's when you're talking about two elite players to me. I genuinely think it's just two elite players, and I think it's preference. It might be biased as well for both of us without us saying it. But
you know what it is more for me, right? It's the reason I chose Grealish is just because, as Ellie was saying before, about the chance creating from Grealish. I think in the Champions League, no English player ever has created more chances than Jack Grealish did last season. And for me, I think something I like about Jack Grealish, he might not get the goal, he might not get the assist, but he's always part of the build-up some way. When we beat Real Madrid and Bayern, most of the goals was because of Grealish slowing down the play. And it might sound simple, like to the people in the comments, not like to. I'm not saying more sad, but some of the people in the comments or some of the people, they might disagree with it and think that it's just a basic thing to do, like slowing down the ball. But I think it's important. I think it's important for the way that we play.
He's a great pass before the pass player off the left as well, which is what David Silva was doing when Pep was putting him off on the left as well. Grealish is just effective in all sectors of what you would need from a winger.
Grealish's IQ is elite. Like his football brain is elite. Don't get me wrong. Like he knows his football IQ is elite. But yeah, man, I can't lie. Martinelli is.
I think after next season, we could be having a very different conversation about combined 11s when it comes to Martinelli and Grealish. But based off last season, just because of all competitions alone and the Champions League experience that he has now, I do think it would be unfair to put Martinelli over Grealish. But like I said, that could change after next season. Because like I said, this combined 11, we're going off. We're using our own metrics, but going into the next season, both our teams are in the Champions League, and the person with the most Champions League experience is Grealish, and he's performed very well in the Champions League. Even in his first season, where he was a bit, there was games in the Champions League, for example, Leipzig at home, where he was very, very good. So,
no, I hear you. The reason why this is like, if we was going to do that, and I'm not saying this is what you're doing, but if we was going to do that, it would have been you man everywhere. Do you know what I'm saying? It would have been a Kanji instead of Saliba. It would have been you lot everywhere type thing. But
yeah, but we can't just say let's put in Martinelli because there's loads of City players. Like
no. I'm not saying that.
So.
Well, that's what I'm saying. So like with me, I've been very consistent on kind of how I'm judging. Not saying all of us have been, to be honest with you. And this is the one position where we're disagreeing. So I feel like unanimously we've agreed on everything else. It's just Martinelli and Grealish is a lot's going to dictate next season, because once Arsenal play in the Champions League, you're right, the discourse is going to change on everything. The way we speak about our players is going to change, because if Arsenal perform in the Champions League, you're looking at everyone now in the new light. But if you would have asked me, just the way I'm judging it is, if you would have asked me, yo, Mo, you could take one of these guys for your team next season, who you taking? That's just how I'm judging it. I would have taken everyone that
I get that, but what I was saying was, obviously we're basing off last season experience, and I do think Grealish's performances in the Champions League gives him that edge over Martinelli. But like you said, at the end of next season, we could be having a very different conversation, because the likeliness is that we're probably going to be facing each other in the Community Shield again, unless someone random team wins the FA Cup. So we could be doing this exact thing again. So
I think Man City and Arsenal.
I just think the Champions League performances gives him the edge.
I'll be alright. I'll be honest with you. I don't know if Saad, you might have to just hyphen this and say Martinelli / Grealish on this one position, bro.
Well, the thing is, I'm putting it. I've done it.
Maybe so. To the comments, I don't know.
I'm just gonna go with Martinelli, because for me, I'm looking at the goals and assists. For me, he offers, like, of course, like we said, Jack Grealish, his IQ is really good, and he helps with build-up play and all sorts. But for me, I can't cancel out Martinelli's goals and assists and what he offered to our team, because he literally last season showed levels, like the improvement in his skill and his finishing and his passing, as well as his strength. Like, he bulked off massively to what he used. If you see pictures of him when he first joined us to what it looks like now, but it's two different players, two different body types. Because when he joined us, he was skinny, and now he's actually got a bit of muscle on him. So I can't go with what he done last season and not put Martinelli into that joint 11.
The reason why it's hard and the reason why it's difficult is because if you asked this question before the World Cup, I would have said Martinelli. But after the World Cup, I'm saying Grealish, and I think that's why it's a little bit difficult, because for me it's kind of like two different minds. Because I do remember Martinelli at the start of the season, and I do remember, obviously, I've seen a lot more of Grealish. That's why, of course, I'm going to say Grealish, because I watch a lot more Grealish than I do.
Do you know what it is, though, G? It's like I said, though, bro. Grealish costs 100 million, no one's talking about it. So Grealish is clearly elite. The fact that no one's talking about his price, to me, that's how, when no one talks about your price, that shows you're worth it now. Do you get what I mean? Like, if
compared
if
to his first season where people were slaughtering for it, like,
do you know what I mean, Ellie? Like, if people keep bringing up your price range, there's something like Pepe. People still talk about Pepe 72 million for a reason. Grealish costs 100 million. Same thing with Declan Rice. Declan Rice is going to get judged on what Arsenal win, in my opinion. If Arsenal win the league, he was worth the money. If Arsenal don't win the league, it's a different conversation. Van Dijk's the same. So to me, Grealish is elite, but taking my guy from Brazil, man.
Fair enough.
But it's just like I said. What I think gives Grealish the edge is the Champions League performances, and
that's a fact, though. I can't lie.
So, I mean, obviously you're taking Martinelli. Me and Joseph had always taking Grealish, and I'm obviously I think Saad's going to take Martinelli. So
yeah,
Saad, just do a hyphen, man.
To be fair,
I might.
It's up to you. You can just put Martinelli, Grealish, and put split vote. But
yeah, let's do that. I think
split vote.
I'm gonna have to do that, but I'm literally just setting up the team so I can have a picture.
And do me a favor, can you put Jesus / Haaland just say to split vote as well?
Hilarious.
Hey,
what I'll see is that you guys like we're gonna say Grealish, but if you want to put Martinelli, you can like for me you can put him in there, right? But like for me, all I'm gonna say is that Grealish, I think he is gonna improve in his game. And if it was all competitions, then of course I do think that the likes of Bernardo Silva would definitely be in if we were talking about all competitions. But because I'm
do you know what it is though, G?
Yeah.
Do you know what I like about this though? Because I was doing one with United. United fans had Wan-Bissaka, Lisandro Martinez. One guy tried to tell me Lindelof. This is at least a conversation, bruv. Like this with you, man. At least I'm having a convo. I tried to do this with United fans. United fans wanted 10 out of 11 play. United fans are the only fans in the world that believe they're better than Arsenal and Man City in 10 out of 11 positions, but somehow finish below both of us. It don't make sense to me. It don't make sense what United
No,
fans do.
it's thingy. I think this exact team is what I put in. I made a thread of combined 11s with the other top six, and Sad, you commented on the Arsenal one. I think you think this is the exact team I put, but obviously with Grealish and not Martinelli. So it's, I think, again after this season, I think that with the Champions League being involved, there's going to be a lot more different conversations for Martinelli and Grealish if we do have to make a combined 11 again preview stream. But I'm happy with them both being there with a slash due to not being able to agree.
I've got a question for you, City fans, though. When are you guys going to start worrying about... By the way, KDB is one of the best centre mids the league's ever seen, so you say me saying anything about KDB. But when are you guys going to start to worry about his decline? Like in terms of age, fitness, health, injuries?
When he starts declining.
But
at the moment, he's not.
But to me, I think injury-wise, he's starting to catch a lot of injuries now. In my opinion, he's starting to now start. It's starting to catch up to him a
he's
little
not
bit.
always been the most fully fit player. Like he missed a chunk of our Centurion season, and we won the league with 100 points. So I think we have the depth to be able to manage it if he does start. I don't think he'll decline in performance, but maybe like fitness levels and whatnot may as he gets older. But I'm just not seeing it at the moment to confidently say it's a worry.
By the way, because I don't want to get sidetracked, I don't think City have the depth they used to have, but that's another conversation for another day. I don't think your depth is as crazy as you lot think it is. And you say me knocking City.
We've got a good quality in some positions. We've got good quality 15, 16 players, maybe more. But when it comes down to the squad of 17, 18, when I look at that squad, I could name 18, 19 especially, actually. I could name 2 in each position, 2.
That's what I'm saying, bro. That's exactly what I'm saying.
Yeah, but G certified last season, City fans were trying to stress this, that our depth is not as good as rivals are making out. Like when people say that City have got 3 players for every single position, that just wasn't true last season. And then City fans were saying that all season that our depth wasn't as good as last season. But one thing people stressed to me when we kept constantly missing out on the Champions League, it's not about your squad, it's about how strong your starting 11 is. And our starting 11 last season was very, very strong, which is, I think, is why we won it compared to last season's, because we didn't have the depth, but we had a very strong starting 11.
I'll be honest with you, I can't wait for next season, man. I can't wait for the season to start, man.
It's gonna be great.
Neither can I. I'm so excited, man. But I tried to show it there, but
I'm sorry, son. You've had it.
We saw it. You just need to zoom in on it a bit.
But either way, I'm gonna put it up on Twitter anyway, saying that this was the combined 11 that we came. I had to just end up doing Grealish and Martinelli, to be honest. But I guess the final thing we need to do is just give our the match predictions. What you lot think the score is going to be?
Wait, what?
Score predictions. Yeah, we have to do. We have to.
You know me, yeah. You know it is with me though, son. You
don't like to do it, bro.
I hate predictions, bro. I hate doing predictions. I can't lie. The only game I predicted there's only 2 games I predicted a season. United at home and Spurs at home are the only games I give predictions to because I think we win them no matter what. Also could be on a 10-game losing streak. Those are the 2 games I'm so confident at. Tomorrow, I'm predicting. G35, you go first.
No, for me, I said that it's either going to be 2. I think it's going to be a close game. I'll say it's going to be a close game. It's not going to be, no one's going to batter the other. I want to say 2-1 or 3-2. I'm stuck in between those. But I'm going to say 3-2. I think there's still going to be a little bit of leaks in both defenses. I don't think either are going to be as good as the end of the season.
Yeah, 100%.
Now, for you, Ellie?
Yeah, I agree with G certified, but I do think it's going to be like 3-1 City.
Yeah, to City as well. Let us make it clear before anyone hears. 3-2 to City, by the way.
I'm going. I think it's either going to be. I'm going Arsenal win 2-1, or it finishes 2-2 and it ends up going to penalties.
I'm gonna go with the same one. Yeah, I'm gonna go with the same one I've done yesterday in Hamza's stream, which was I'm gonna go 1-0. I think it's gonna be a close game, and I think we'll win it 1-0. I don't think it's gonna be a high scoring game. Yeah, I don't think one team's, like you lot said, one team's gonna dominate the other and just demolish them. And yeah, listen, I'm very confident going into it with my history in Wembley. You know what I mean?
Do you know what it is though, Shad? I can't see. The only reason why I said 2-1 or 2-2 is I can't see. Depending on if Zinchenko's not playing and then you're trying to, I can't see Arsenal keeping a clean sheet. Essentially, is what I'm trying to say.
Well, even if we somehow play, because even if we somehow play like KT in left back and Timber at right back.
You see, Tierney, yeah, this bag holding, Tesco holding, shorts in the snow wearing Donny, yeah. Like I appreciate that's your guy, innit? Zinchenko's my left back, innit? But if we play Tierney, I think we need to play Tierney. I'll be honest with you, but I can't see us keeping a clean sheet, man. I wish I could. Don't get me wrong. That's why I'm going 2-1, 2-2. Like I just can't see it. To me, City's got the firepower. City's got is. I'm always gonna go. Whenever we play City, I've always got City scoring a goal, just because when you've got a Targaryen up front, like they've got a Targaryen up front. That Targaryen is gonna score goals. Haaland is gonna get goals. So like, to me, I can't. They might have got to score somehow, some way, man. In my opinion.
Even Alvarez is dangerous. I don't know. I think Haaland will start, but even if Alvarez starts, he's another guy, man. He's dangerous.
Alvarez is cold with it, man. Alvarez is cold with it. I can't lie.
100%. Yeah. Listen, I guess that's the end of the stream. Firstly, thank you very much, guys, for tuning in. Thank you guys for joining me on this stream as well, to the panelists. I'm just gonna put up their names. If you want to follow them on Twitter, I'm pretty sure you guys can quick shout out your things. If you don't want to shout out your Twitter.
Yeah, good. Go on, Mo.
No, G, go. Jeez, come, go.
No, just terrified, man. That's me. If you can't find, it's treble G, man. I got that up to date. You know what I'm saying? But treble G certified or trick G certified. But yeah, that's good. That's fun.
My thing, same thing. Mo Barksdale, Rams Like Dimes podcast. This is the first time I've done a football one ever. But yeah, Mo Barksdale at Rams Like Dimes pod. Get me.
Ellie, what's your Twitter for the people if they wanted to follow you up? I'm waiting for her because I know hers has got hella numbers, so I try to see if she remember it, but I think she's away. Okay,
Ellie 1 5 6 7 8 9 10, bro.
Something, bro.
Sorry.
That's all good, Ellie. No worries. Well, thank you very much for tuning in, guys. Firstly, make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Let me know what your thoughts were on this live stream. We'll be doing plenty more in the future. And thank you very much for tuning in, guys. See you later.
Wembley. In a bit.